Hey, thanks so much for clicking on this video and welcome to the Haves and the Have-Nots review here on YouTube. If you're a fan of Tyler Perry, you've come to the right place. Be sure to click that subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. And also check me out on these social media platforms, and links in the description below will lead you to my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook group, and Facebook page. Once again, thanks for joining in and enjoy the video. Wow, like this is probably my fourth video already tonight in regards to a crazy theory that fans have given me during, my live streams. And this has to do with, did Charles have anything to do with the passing of his wife? That was a crazy theory that I never even thought of. Now, just the mere thought of Charles himself having a hand in the death of his wife is just very disturbing to me. I mean, we don't know what Charles, we know that Charles is a pretty stand-up guy. He's pretty much like the Barack Obama of the haves and the have-nots. But that Chucky side, that's the part I don't even want to get into, because we got a glimpse of him when he pretty much got Secret Service to come in and pretty much almost get rid of Candace for good, not by death, but by either arresting or sending her to like another country or whatever. I'm going to be completely honest here. I don't think that Charles had anything to do with his wife dying. I mean, I know this is me being a bit naive, because this show has shown that even the nicest characters have a dark side, which leads them to be capable of anything. Like, we've known Catherine Cryer to be a badass ever since season 1. I mean, fighting off cancer or recovering for cancer, and pretty much giving the famous number 9 speech, which is in my mind still one of the greatest scenes in the entire series. But never would I thought that she would kill somebody in cold blood like that, like she did with Jennifer Salison. But with Charles, I think, the persona he gives off via his kids, I mean, and this is not me condoning murder or anything of that, especially within domestic abuse for one thing, but the only potential way I could see Charles having something to do with his wife passing is if, let's say, they weren't in a position of political, because he was, I know somebody will correct me, wasn't he like a congressman or something, or his part of his local senate before he ran for president? I forgot, but I think it was congressman. I could be wrong, but wouldn't it make, I mean, let's say he was like a have-not. He pretty much was on Hannah's neck of the woods. If his wife was somebody that was physically abusing the kids and whatnot, maybe she was on drugs or something, and they accidentally got into a scuffle and then she died, that's understandable somewhat. That's more believable than Charles actually having something to do with his wife dying because of him due to his current circumstances. A lot of people are saying, well, Jeremy, remember that other girl that came before Candace? What if that was his wife? I don't think so. Something I never thought about. I've always talked about how Derek, well, not just me, but a bunch of other fans as well, how Derek and Charles seem to be too good to be true. I mean, seemingly good men who come into the lives of two troubled, stubborn, independent black women, Candace and Hannah. They pretty much offer to help them get through their pain and offer them a new life so they don't have to take and struggle the load alone. But there's hesitation on both sides, like Hannah not wanting to have sex before marriage, Candace really not trusting trusting Charles, and how everything seems too good to be true. I mean, that actually makes sense. Then Hannah pretty much, she's just not used to being pursued after quite a while, which is understandable after everything she's went through. But one thing I never thought about is the fact that both Charles and Derek lost the love of their lives, their companions, their spouse, their wives, the mother of their children. We've seen that Charles has a young son and daughter, and if memory serves, Derek has 3 sons. Now, I believe Derek said his wife passed away with cancer. I don't recall how Charles's wife passed away. Wasn't it some sort of sickness? I could be wrong. But it would be very interesting if the parallel between the two is that, you know, both men with troubled past, which we know they actually do have troubled past, but their wives made them better men as a result, giving birth to their kids, helping them along the way, and then they passed on and they both lost their way. I mean, Derek pretty much, you know, he's just being lonely, whereas, I mean, and not to mention, you know, Veronica tried to hook him up with a lot of females over the past year, but it, you know, none of them stuck. So really, Hannah was the first one that he really clicked with. With Charles, he's pretty much had women all over the country, but none of them made him feel the way that Candace does. Now, I don't know, guys. I feel like Charles didn't have anything to do with his wife dying. I feel like Charles was introduced as a parallel to Derek when you really think about the breakdown I just did. So I'm going to say no to that theory. Very interesting theory, though. I mean, also one thing you could think about, wait, what if he didn't kill his wife? What if his wife was just sent away or made to disappear by the Secret Service? Possibility, but I don't want to think that Charles would do anything like that to his kids. So good theory, guys. So I'm going to give this theory probably a 1 out of 5 in terms of possibility. I mean, if it's the truth, I mean, hats off to the people that came up with the theory, but I don't think so. I think that both Derek and Charles both lost their wives, unfortunately, and now they are, I don't want to say trying to fill in the hole, because that seems like they're just using Candace and Hannah as objects to fill in a gap left that their wives, you know, pretty much left open when they died. But let me know your thoughts on this theory in the comment section below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you all soon.